Le programme AICCRA veut dire accélérer l'impact de la recherche climatique du CIGIA pour l'Afrique. L'objectif de ce programme, c'est de rendre accessibles les innovations et les technologies d'agriculture intelligente face au climat et également les innovations en termes de services d'information climatique pour bénéficier les petits producteurs d'Afrique. C'est un programme financé par le Fonds IDA, la Banque mondiale, et est mis en œuvre en Afrique. 3 pays en Afrique de l'Ouest, le Ghana, le Mali et le Sénégal, et 3 pays en Afrique de l'Est et Australie. En dehors des interventions au niveau pays, nous avons ce qu'on appelle les programmes régionaux. Donc, il y a 2 programmes régionaux, le programme régional Afrique de l'Ouest et le programme régional Afrique australe. Et pour pouvoir le faire, nous avons un partenariat avec AGRHYMET. Nous avons également un partenariat avec le CORAF. Nous avons également un partenariat avec WASCAL et RUFORUM pour permettre de diffuser les connaissances autour de l'agriculture intelligente face au climat et les services d'information dans les offres de formation dans les universités en Afrique de l'Ouest.
Nous avons pu, avec le projet AICCRA, opérationnaliser ce que nous avons appelé des services climatiques de nouvelle génération. Non seulement nous avons développé des logiciels, ensuite, à partir de cet outil-là, nous avons développé nous-mêmes, dans le cadre du projet AICCRA, des améliorations très importantes. Et nous avons ajouté des fonctionnalités supplémentaires, nous avons ajouté des technologies supplémentaires, nous avons ajouté des algorithmes d'intelligence artificielle pour avoir un outil propre à l'Afrique de l'Ouest que nous avons baptisé outil WAS-S2S, c'est-à-dire que l'outil de prévision saisonnière et intrasaisonnière pour l'Afrique de l'Ouest et le Sahel. Donc, avec cet outil, nous avons produit des prévisions qu'on appelle des prévisions saisonnières objectives. Ces prévisions saisonnières objectives nous ont permis d'avoir des produits qui sont beaucoup plus reproductibles, beaucoup plus précises, beaucoup plus fiables et dont on peut aussi tracer leur système de production. Donc, dans le cadre du projet AICCRA, on a mis l'accent sur ce qu'on appelle des formations actions. C'est des formations de longue durée, sur 1 mois au minimum, où les cadres des États viennent à AGRHYMET, on les forme, on les encadre et à l'issue de la formation, ils produisent eux-mêmes des résultats spécifiques à leur pays. Donc ça, c'est vraiment une innovation dans la manière de nous assurer que les pays se sont appropriés des outils développés. L'ensemble des responsables des services climatiques et météorologiques de la région, notamment les directeurs, ils sont venus à AGRHYMET. On a discuté ensemble des avancées majeures du projet AICCRA et par la suite, ils ont officiellement adopté ces résultats-là à travers un communiqué officiel qu'ils ont tous signé. Et à partir de cet instant-là, la région transite ou la région rentre dans une nouvelle phase de services climatiques. Avec le projet AICCRA, on est arrivé presque à des égalités paritaires sur le plan genre. Généralement, nous tournons, avant le projet AICCRA, nous tournons autour de 20 à 25% de participation de femmes. Avec le projet AICCRA, on est arrivé presque à 50% de participation de femmes dans nos ateliers. Donc ça, c'est vraiment des avancées majeures.
So, AICCRA supported CORAF to set up a committee of practice on foresight analysis. And now, this committee of practice apply foresight tools to facilitate the elaboration of a regional plan for preparedness and the response to pest and disease outbreak. With the support of AICCRA, CORAF capacitated the NAS and FSAP PIUs. So the National Agricultural Research System and PIU, the Food System Resilience Program, Project Implementation Unit. So the stakeholders coming from the NAS and the PIUs of FSAP also benefited from capacity building on how to assess the smartness of agricultural technologies. Last but not the least, under AICCRA, CORAF also facilitated the revitalization of climate-smart agriculture alliances and also to elaborate 2 bankable climate smart agriculture projects. The gender approach that we've been using to implement AICCRA is not standalone but cross-cutting, meaning that this dimension should be reflected in any AICCRA CORAF project and activities. The collaboration under AICCRA, what's happened also in terms of key gender-related activities, we contributed as CORAF to map out climate smart technologies, gender-sensitive technologies, nutrition-sensitive technologies, and to facilitate the access, adoption, and scaling for men and women, but especially the underprivileged, meaning the most vulnerable group, on how they can really take advantage to enhance food productivity, to meet food requirement in the face of climate change. We contributed as CORAF to organize an international workshop on women's leadership in climate research with AICCRA. We contribute to organize this workshop to promote women's advancement, women's empowerment, and access to decision-making position in the NAS, in the research system. We also capacitated extension officers coming from FSLP and non-FSLP countries on how to mainstream gender dimension in extension and rural advisory services to facilitate the access, adoption, and scaling of proven technologies, especially for underprivileged as women and youth.
We are excited that through the AICCRA initiative, we have the support, of course, to strengthen the hub. And this strengthening, comes in a number of packages. One, we received support from AICCRA to organize a regional workshop where we brought together experts from 14 West African countries to disseminate the result of our regional study on NDCs. But we believe this was a key achievement because with this, these experts will go back into their countries and integrate the findings into the ongoing processes to produce the new generation of NDCs 3.0. Apart from that, with the support of AICCRA, we were also able to expand our hub from 6 existing countries to 8, where we expanded to Togo and also to Cote d'Ivoire. We believe this is important because it allows the hub to expand its reach and to contribute more to inclusivity and climate action in West Africa. And finally, is AICCRA's support to build our capacity in fund mobilization. This was a key achievement because through this regional workshop, we were able to bring together members of the IGST regional hub from all over the region, and we trained them on how to develop bankable ideas, which would then be submitted to the GCF. And from this workshop, we were able to have a draft of a concept note, which would then have to go into further development until we finalize it. So these are key achievements that we were able to make even through the AICCRA funding.
RUFORUM is a network of universities. So our main focus was how do we integrate and mainstream climate smart agriculture and climate information system within the university system. That means developing short courses, integrating CSA in curriculum, developing, integrating case studies, developing new programs including bachelor's, master's, and PhD programs that address the different climate smart agriculture and climate information systems processes. We developed several modules, and these modules are sequential in nature and chronological in nature. AICCRA provided the resource that was utilized to galvanize the different actors in this space, but also AICCRA provided a platform where we can learn from other actors in the core countries and bringing together the different CGIARRA centers and what they had done as far as climate smart agriculture is concerned and climate information systems. So we got partnerships as a result of our engagement in the AICCRA program, and these partnerships have been fundamental in generating the relevant information that can then be integrated and mainstreamed in university curriculum and university processes, because we do appreciate that climate smart agriculture is a multidisciplinary concept. So having AICCRA on board and the different CG centers on board was key to providing a foundation and providing justification and validity of what we are talking about.
WASCAL works with RUFORUM, and the main idea is to develop curricula in climate smart agricultural technologies and climate information services. And the idea is to try to mainstream these models in universities' curricula in West Africa. So far, we've identified 11 models, of which 9 has been completed by both RUFORUM and WASCAL. WASCAL, together with RUFORUM, we've put measures in place which are very robust. So for example, RUFORUM has an e-learning platform. This platform will be made available to all universities across West Africa, and this will include the models we have developed, which has gone through validation processes and also training. So lecturers or researchers and students across West Africa will still have access to these models. And we have a mechanism to actually evaluate or track the number of students or lecturers that actually use this platform. WASCAL also works with about 12 universities in West Africa. And the main idea is to consistently make sure that they have access to these materials, both students and lecturers have access to these materials.
AICCRA as a scaling project has been able over the 5 years of implementation to make accessible climate information services and climate smart agriculture to more than 200 stakeholders across the continent. At the same time, we were able to make accessible validated climate smart agriculture technologies and climate information services to about 11 million farmers, beneficiaries in the ground. So at the same time, we were able to make accessible the same technologies and innovation to more than 40 countries beyond the intervention countries of AICCRA. And finally, out of the 11 million that access the technologies and innovation, about 2 million have been able to effectively use all this innovation in order to improve their resilience and then to increase the food security of the different households. This is to say a few about the numerous achievements of AICCRA across the continent. Now, as we move forward towards AICCRA 3, we would like to now leverage all these successes achieved under AICCRA 1 and 2 in order to systematize the scaling through capacitating regional organization, African regional organization, and this will allow them to better systematize the use of scaling tools, approaches, but also leveraging private sector and private finance in order to autonomously run all these activities and achieve the expected goals.